Okay, so maybe we can already start. I don't know. Hi everyone. My name is Gladys Rodezambo. So, I'm the Utopia Student Careers Ambassador from Cergy, CY Cergy Paris University. I'm very happy to welcome you in that workshop called Moving to France. So, you will be introduced to how to be integrated in the French society. I might maybe begin with presenting you Utopia, as this is what gathers us. So maybe we can start changing the slide. Okay, so let's go. Okay, so one about the Utopia. So just know that Utopia is a European project financed by the Erasmus Fund, by the European Commission. So Utopia is regrouping 10 universities, the University of Cergy Paris Université in France, the University of Pompeu Fabra in Barcelona, the University of Ljubljana, the University of Warwick, the University of Göteborg, and the Vrije Universiteit Brussels. Last year, 4 new universities have joined the program. So there are now the University of Nova de Lisboa, the University of Ca' Foscari de Venezia, the Technische Universität Dresden, and a Romanian university called Babeș Bolyai Cluj. So Utopia stands for European Universities Transforming to an Open Inclusion Academy, meaning that Utopia is aiming to answer to the problem of university. And so the project is reflecting on how to build a new university and an inclusive university, the university of the future. So Utopia has high expectations and ambitions. In the project, there are 6 work packages, one about education, which is the learning communities. I don't know if you know them. The other one work packages is about research. Another one is about placemaking. Then one about inclusion. Another one about opening to the world in international cooperation. And the last one about dissemination and sustainability. Sorry. In the placemaking workshop, work package, there is Utopia SCA, Student Careers Ambassador. So it is a group of 11 students who are working for students that are providing professional workshops so that the students can enhance their professional career. And thanks to those professional workshops, we aim to advise them some good tips about the marketplace, about mobility, just like this one workshop, and about the recruiting selection. But there are also other options for students, just like the Utopia Student Think Tank, for example. So now I'm going to let Mrs. Joëlle Gury present herself. She's one of our speakers.
Yes, welcome to everybody. Do you hear me very well? I hope. Well, I'm Joëlle Gury. I'm the International Cooperation, the head of the International Cooperation Department, Cergy Paris Université. And my department that carries all the international mobilities. What do you mean about mobilities? Students that go abroad for your mobility, students that come in our university for your mobility, individual mobility, or exchange mobility, and Erasmus mobility as well. So we look after all these students provide them administrative and information support, and provide financial support for the outgoing students. So we are really in touch with all the students during their mobility outside and inside CY.
Okay, thank you. And now there is Mrs. Melissa Keladi from the Europe Direct office in the Val d'Oise, who is going to present herself.
Hello, everybody. So I'm Melissa, and I'm working in the Youth Information Center and Europe Direct Center as a Youth Information Worker and Europe Direct Center Manager. Sorry for the long introduction. So to introduce briefly the Youth Information Center, we are a non-profit organization which welcome young people, but also parents and youth workers, and provide them information related to jobs and training, cultural measures, transportation, health, European and international mobility. I mean, everything about daily life. And we are a place in which people can meet other young people and study, because we have like a large co-working place. And we are the organization that coordinates the youth information network in our area. And there are for now 27 youth information organization in Val d'Oise. I put the link tree so you can see all of our social media accounts. And for the Europe Direct Centers, we are a European network, and we help. We bring information about the European Union. And our aim is to give information to people about European Union, because we don't have a lot of information in the media, for instance. And we organize many events to talk about European issues and policies. And we also answer the questions. And we are a resources center about EU.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Keladi. Now we are going to start the presentation, and our first subject will be about presenting France to you. So the question, where are we? This is the map of France, the France that everyone knows in the European Union, and also aside the Caribbean and overseas islands from the French Republic. Here there is a map of France and the 18 regions. So we will focus on the Île-de-France. So Île-de-France is the Parisian region where there is CY Cergy Paris Université. So there is also on the side focus on the Parisian region and its several departments. So the Parisian region is quite a dynamic region in France. I think it's the first most dynamic region in France. Then there is also Auvergne-Rhône-Alpes for tourism, because there are ski stations, and also for the sector of industry. There is also Occitanie in the very south, that is pretty dynamic for aeronautic sector. Then there is also the Grand Est, which is a region linked to Germany, in which there is a French and German cooperation, as well as EU institutions, just like the European Parliament in Strasbourg. So on the second slide, you have now a focus on the Parisian region called Île-de-France. They are listing, it is listing, sorry, the 8th department, so Paris that everyone knows. Seine-et-Marne, Yvelines, Essonne, Hauts-de-Seine, Seine-Saint-Denis, Val-de-Marne, and Val d'Oise. It is in bold since this is where CY Sergi Paris University is located. And on the map, you can also see a plane emoji because there is an international airport called Roissy-Charles de Gaulle. And it's only at 30 minutes from the university. So it's a big advantage for international students when they are located and when they are studying in Val d'Oise and particularly in CY Sergi Paris University. Now I'm going to let Joëlle Gury present CYU for you.
Thank you very much. Just to give you some words about CY Sergi Paris University. As you can see, our university is very well located, not very far from Paris, not very far from the international airport. So this is a very good advantage for the students who want to come for mobility in our university. Just to tell you that, as you can see, we are very well ranked. And our aim is to welcome all the students in their diversity. We are a very multidisciplinary university, and we are very willing to welcome everybody with its diversity. I think it is give you some words about, yes, when you arrive in France, what do you need? What document you need? So when you come from Europe, it's easier, of course, if you arrive with your identity document or your passport, it will be sufficient. This is the only document that are required to live in France. And if you come from outside Europe, you will arrive with a visa called VLSTS. It is a long stay visa, equivalent to a resident permit. You will arrive with this document and you will have to validate it online within 3 months upon your arrival in France. So we put the link in which you will, it's very compulsory to do this. To validate this document so that you will have a resident permit. So you will have this resident permit for, I would say, the duration. The duration can be 1 year, 2 years, perhaps 3 years, but you will have to renew it before the end of this resident permit. So be aware that you have to submit your application within 2 months before the end of this residence permit, because it's quite long to have the renewal. So be aware of this duration. We're going to give you some words about health insurance. If you want to continue, Melissa, it's just my part. Yes. Okay, sorry. Well, for European citizens, it's something easy as well, because before leaving your country, your country from Europe, you can ask for the European health insurance card. And you can arrive with this card, and with this card, you can receive medical care because it is validated in all the Europe countries, okay? And in addition of this card, we gave you the photo of what it looks like. In addition to this card, you can benefit as well from the universal health protection. It means that you have to ask for a special card so that you don't have to pay if you need to go to the hospital to have care. So you can ask for this card as well. But if you have only the European health insurance card, it would be sufficient to go to the doctor, to go to the hospital, and to be reimbursed. And if you come from a country outside Europe, you have another administrative issues. So you have to, it looks like complicated, but it's not. If you follow all the steps, that means that you will have to go on this website called Étudiants Étrangers Amélie. So you will have to sign on this online procedures to upload the required documents. You will have to, for example, to upload your residence permits, you will have to upload your birth certificate. So upload the required documents and create your personal account. And then after you will have your personal account, you will be able to apply for this green card called La Carte Vitale. And this carte vitale will be useful for you, so that you won't have to pay full fees for cares in the hospital or to the doctor. It is very important to do this administrative issue, because you will need this card if you have medical expenses to be reimbursed or to be taken in charge. And this is a document that your center created. And so I'll let you present your document.
Yeah, because the campus hosts a lot of international students. We decided to create this booklet to help students with the procedures for health things. But it's such a shame because it's only in French. We need to think about maybe translate it in English. But it's very simple, and you have all of the information you need in this booklet. So after this webinar, we will send you the PowerPoint, so you can just see this document in our website. We have, we called it PDF-othèque, so it's like library, but for PDF and also for website. So you can find all of our documents for how to go to the doctor and also for accommodation and so on.
And I suggest, sorry, just to add that there are very useful information on these documents concerning psychology,
mental health,
mental health, and vaccinations as well, and centers concerning. Well, they're it's very useful. But don't worry if you don't understand everything in French. We can here at the youth center to understand and to translate the documents. So now we're going to follow with the housing question, because I think it's very important for you when you arrive in France, where I'm going to live to sleep. This is as we said at the beginning of our presentation, we are not very far from Paris. We're not very far from the airport. And this is, as we are not very far from Paris, you can guess that some rents are sometimes high, but we have many websites that can help you find housing, find flats, find a room in the private sector. We put some websites very well known here: Le Bon Coin, Particulier à Particulier, Studapart. So usually the accommodation are furnished, but some are not.
Yeah, it depends.
So it depends. So you have to take care when you rent, when you want to rent yeah, to the accommodation. It's very important to see this aspect because
and also be careful of scam, because there's a lot of scams in Le Bon Coin, for example, or seloger.com. So do not hesitate to contact somebody else, because sometimes there's like fake contracts and you arrive in France and oopsie, no flats, no rooms. So it could be very stressful for you. So just read everything very well. And for example, you can ask one of your friends who speak French fluently, and give some advice to choose a good flat and a good room. And
and if you're not used with all these websites, you can ask for a estate agent. They can provide you an accommodation, but you will have to provide a tenancy application, because of the they have to have the guarantee, and the agent but apply some fees. So you have to take care of the fees. It can be perhaps expensive, so you have to look after this. And you have as well the public dormitory that is you can ask for the Crous. The Crous is a public administrative institution under the supervision of the Ministry of Education, that can provide you with a room or a student in their student residence. As well, you can go on the website Trouver un logement Crous, look at these. These we'll tell you later the budget, but it can be a solution. Just take care that for the Crous there are a lot of demands, so they cannot provide room to everybody. So this is the and just about the insurance, housing insurance. In all the accommodations that you will find, it is compulsory to present a housing insurance to protect you against any damage or something like this. And so it's important to have an insurance, as you say, when you arrive, to contact an insurance to insure your apartment, your accommodation, and yourself as well.
And we talked about public dormitories, but there are also like private dormitories. It's quite more expensive, but sometimes you can find some good places with cheap price. Because we will talk about this later, but you can also have some help to pay your rent, but I don't want to spoil you, so
well, about the documents you will have to present and so about the documents you will have to present for an accommodation, to reserve an accommodation. Of course, the identity card or your passport, very important, your school certificate, because you are a student and sometimes you are looking for a student, I just say prices, specific student prices, so have to prove that you are a student. Proof of address, that means that when you arrive, it's important to have it about the tenancy, to have an address of someone that can guarantee you, a bank account statement as well, a guarantor. So this is roughly the documents you will have to present.
A lot of bureaucracy.
Yes, but I think it's everything everywhere.
Yeah,
it's the same thing everywhere. Concerning the budget, if you want to follow as you like. After, okay. So before arriving, of course, you must define what you need. So you have to take into account that you will have to pay the rent. Not only the rent, you have to pay a deposit for the first month, and perhaps you will have agency fees if you're calling for one agency. If the accommodation is empty, you will have to buy some furnitures. So you will have also to look after the cost of your needs, daily life, to pay the fees of your studies, the transport cards. You will have as well electricity and gas bills. But for all these, you have we will give you some figures to help you to prepare your budget. And just keep in mind that in all universities, you have social workers that can help you for all these applications. And you have here the youth center, and as well at the international department and the youth, with our international department and the youth center, we will present you with something that will be very, very useful for you. It's called International Welcome Desk. Well, it was a place that we'll be able to come and to do all these, to have all this information. And about housing, so this is a very interesting document that you created with all the information.
Because we have a lot of questions about housing accommodation. So we create this document for students to find accommodation in this area. I have one tips for you. So if you don't have a guarantee, because you need to have a guarantor in France when you rent a flat in France, but sometimes it's very hard to find a guarantor in France. So there's this service called Visal, and it is offered by Action Logement. It is a non-profit organization, and they help students to settle in a university accommodation or private housing. It's not only for students, but it's very helpful for students, and they provide you a free guarantee to Crous, so the public dorm, but also for every landlord, for every flat. It is open for foreign students, international students, not only for French one, who are part of the European Union, but also outside of the EU. And it is important to have a visa to be clear about your status in France. And yeah, you can read our booklets also to have a lot of information. We put in this document all of the public and private dorms in Val d'Oise, but also like flat for young workers. But it's possible also for a student to go to this kind of accommodation, but you need to work. You need to have like work contract to stay there. And we also put a lot of websites in which you can find accommodation and the financial help like CAF, but we will talk about it later. And also some tips and contacts.
Well, about the daily life, as Melissa said, that there are services that can be provided to you, some helps. As a student, you can benefit from specific or national support. For example, for the meals, you will have meals on the campus. They will be by the Crous as well. You have a card called Easily. And with this card, you will have specific fees, specific tariffs for your meals. So it's very important when you arrive on the campus is to activate your student card and to activate Easily on this so that you can benefit from these prices. And where you live, you can have as well helps for the transport network. That means that you can buy some specific tickets for your the transport on all the national or regional transport network. So you have RATP, Île-de-France. When you are a student, you can find many tips and something like this to help you. Very interesting, the Caisse Allocation Familiale, CAF, it is called CAF. So you have just keep this in your mind. Very important, the CAF provides you help to pay your rent. It is a family allowance agency, not only for the family, it is for everyone and students as well. They can provide you housing financial support based on your resources and based on the type of the accommodation and of your status of a student. These you will have to make some administrative issues to ask for this family allowance for this help. And as well of the you can benefit from the Imaginaire travel pass. That means that if you have to take the train every day to come from the campus, or not, if you want to have a card to go every weekend, you want to go to Paris, for example, you can benefit from special offers of this Imaginaire travel pass. Again, you can ask on the website Imaginaire. So these for your daily life, this is the sum of the financial support. There are others that you can discover when you will come and see us. So, and we're going to give you, Gladys, you want to talk about the cost of living in France?
Yes, I'm going to present you the cost of living in France. And so it's a survey from LabLabo who has established some results about student life, the cost for students living in France. So maybe you can see in the statistics, Cergy is at the 7th position. It's quite high because it's at the top of the table. So you can see that Cergy has quite the same, well, is quite close to Paris in terms of budget. It's quite a high budget. You can see from the numbers that you will have to save at least 1,100 euros per month to live comfortably. So there is the rent that is a huge part of your budget, quite the half of the budget. And then there is the rest of your budget for you to live, to eat, to take public transports, and to enjoy social and cultural life in Cergy, but also in the Parisian region. So just know that Cergy, being part of the Parisian region, has quite high expectations in terms of living, even for students. Then on the second slide, you have some emergency numbers. So there is the SAMU, is when you are wounded or injured and you have to be cured. You called the SAMU. They will come quite very fast, and it's the 15. Then there is also the firemen. It's the 18, so you can never called the 15 or the 18 if you are wounded. Then there is the police, the 17, and there is that number that normally everyone should know because it's a European one. It's about saving people. It's an emergency number that is available in all Europe, and it's the 112. Then on the, if you want to have more information, you can maybe go to Campus France. Campus France is gathering a lot of advices, and I will try to put everything on the chat or maybe by mail after the workshop for you, as many advices on emergency numbers, but also the cost of living. And if you have any question, you can always go to the International Mobility Service of the university in which Joël is working, Mrs. Curie. They will be there to help you and to give you some tips. Just like the Maison des Langues of the university, which is in English, the House of Languages. They have a center for you to learn French, so you will be even more integrated. It's always a real pleasure to talk to foreigners, international students in English and also in French, so that they are maybe close to the society. So just know that in the House of Languages, you can have access to those lessons. It's in a workshop style, so it's more friendly and comfortable for you to know new people or international students just like you. And there are also some associations here at the university, but also locally, that are welcoming international people, and they are organizing events, just like one association that is always there for Erasmus Days, which is the day in which we are celebrating international students at the campus. And it's always very friendly to have this kind of gathering and recruitment together. So there is everything for you to be well integrated. I'm going to let the floor to Melissa to present you, in fact, the student life.
Yes, in the Youth Information Center, we offer a lot of opportunity for students. So we have this PASS Campus. This is Voucher for outing and leisure activities, also sports activities in Cergy-Pontoise. So with the PASS Campus, you can benefit discounts in the theater, in the swimming pool, in the high skating park, in show places, and in the castle in Auvers-sur-Oise, the city of Van Gogh. And yeah, there's a lot of discounts. I won't do the list of it, but you can find every information online, and it costs only 5 years, and it's for the entire academic year. So yeah, feel free to come to us and yeah, ask questions about PASS Campus, and it's very quick to do it. We only need the student pass. We put a sticker on it, and it's yeah,
Easy.
it's very easy. Yeah. We also offer like a grant for it's to encourage the initiatives for the students associations. I'm not an expert of it, so sorry if I read my notes. So it's like a grant to help you to organize events or to organize sometimes we had like a TED conference, so it's very large, but you need to, it's for a student association, and it's better if many student associations create this event, not only one. And it's also better if you support the local associations, not only students, but also the local society. And it's for the students, and it could be up to 4,000 euros. So it's very nice. It's very nice.
Interesting.
Yeah. So you can submit the project, and there's a commission which judge. Yeah, it's like a jury.
The project, if you have any project, you submit the project, and
and see if you can get the grant.
Yeah.
But it's very easy. You just need to send a document with budget and the objectives, a presentation of your project, and we send it to the commission. They say if yes or no you can get the grant, and you can come to us, you receive your check, and that's it. We organized before the sanitary crisis, like an event to in every, like, during this event, every student association meets the other who received the grant to present the project and also to have like a feedback of the project. I don't remember the name of it, but it's a very nice event because we create like a network of students.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think the aim of this grant is to involve the student associations to be active on here, to present projects and and to really to act in our territory.
Not
and
only
to
in
meet
the
together
campus,
as well.
of
And to
course,
meet together
not
as well.
only in the campus, but in the city,
In the
and
city,
in the local area. No, it's very nice. So if you have some project, if you are involved in a student association in Cergy, so do not hesitate to send us your project. And last but not
the least,
we organize with CY Cergy Paris Université the International Welcome Desk. And we organize it here in this place, in this meeting room.
In this meeting room,
yes. And it's like a service, an event, which help international students with French bureaucracy, such as the residence permit, the visa, the health insurance, the CAF, remember CAF? And we inform you about the student facilities and also the student life here in Cergy. So we have here for this International Welcome Desk a multilingual team with ambassadors trained by our partners, so health insurance, CAF, prefecture, etc., and welcomes you to provide guidance on topic like the renewal of your residence permit, health insurance, work, or taxes.
Yeah, taxes.
And tips on campus life, facilities, student jobs, and culture and leisures.
Yeah, because we thought together, I would say, what the international students need when they arrive. What are all the administrative procedures they have to follow? And we say that it would be a good idea if they can find the answer of all these questions in a single same way. And we thought that it was a good idea to find a central place, and we discussed together, and then we decided to organize this international welcome desk. It is opened at the beginning of September until end of October. It is, how do you say, at the same time when all the students are arriving. So we work together, and our aim is really to improve the welcoming of the international students. And we wanted as well this international welcome desk to be here because we want the students, when they come here for the first time, they have the ambassadors that help them, but we want them to come after. That means that you offer, after cultural events, you offer Café des Langues, something like this, and we want them to identify the way that it is not a way just for administrative procedures, but after, when they have finished the administrative, they will come back again, because you are providing cultural and social events. For example, this 4,000 grants, euros, and well, this is the place I think for the international students. When you arrive, this is the place to be here at the International Welcome Desk. This is
yeah, and as I said before, it's very a place in which you can meet other people and yeah, to create your network. And as Joël said, and I forgot to put this on the presentation, but we organize linguistic exchange, language exchange, called Café des Langues. So it's also like an opportunity to meet students, but not only, because it's open for a large audience, and it's to talk in French, or to speak in French or other foreign languages. And it's a really nice event, because we don't ask for a specific level. It's for everybody who wants to have 2 hours in the week to speak another language. And and this year we organize like Café des Langues to promote another culture. For example, in March we have Café des Langues to discover India. And in June to discover Italy. So if you come to us in Cergy, maybe we can think about Café des Langues in Swedish, or I don't know, in German, in Greece, Greece, not Greece, Greek, Romanian, Romanian, and etc.
I realized that we spoke a lot.
Yeah.
But, perhaps you have questions, or well, you have questions on perhaps some specific topics. So, well, first of all, thank you for listening. And well, do not hesitate to ask your question, please. We'll be very pleased to answer. Well, you're looking
Okay, so I can already see the questions. There are according to me 4 questions. One from, sorry if I mispronounced your name, from Sinui Sang, saying that she is from, or is, I'm very sorry, I don't know, from outside Europe. What documents do I need from university to apply for a visa, like an acceptance letter? Or is it the same with the offer I got before? So she's asking which document she needs to get to apply for a visa.
You need the acceptance letter from the university that proves that you have been accepted, so that you can ask for your visa. So you will need to present this document and perhaps your passport, and to put the visa on it. But the main document is the acceptance letter from the hosting university as well, of course.
Okay. There is another question. I think it was concerning the documents for housing. And the question is from Anna about the school certificate. So the one that you need for housing. Is it the school certificate from the university at home or from the French one?
It is the certificate of the French university. The administrative procedures you are doing, it is called to have services, French services. So these services need to know in which university in France you are registered. So it's from the French university.
Okay. Another question about Alice, and still about housing. It's about the guarantor. If that person is a PhD student, with his or her own salary, do that person still need a guarantor? And also, if the person is obliged to have a French bank account for housing.
Concerning the guarantor, it depends in which accommodation you are applying. Some accommodation services, they will perhaps see which salary you're having, and some will ask you to present a guarantor.
Yeah.
It depends on what.
And yeah, for example, for real estate, you need to earn 3 times of the rent.
Yeah.
So it's in Cergy, it is very hard to earn 3 times the rent.
Mhm.
So you can go to the Visal website. It's very easy.
Yeah.
I suggest you to go to
The
Visal.
Visal guarantor. It's easy. It's online, and it's very, very easy to ask for the Visal guarantor. And concerning the bank, I think it's easy as well to have a French bank account, because even if you are in the estate agency or at the public accommodation, you will have to pay your rent by bank transfer. So I think it would be better to have a French bank account, to not have to pay each time fees for bank transfer.
Yeah.
But in the international welcome desk, we can give you some addresses of bank partners that offer some, it would be easier to go them to open the bank account in these banks, because we discuss together and we ask them to welcome our international students.
So indeed, it's the question from Christina. So if it's required to have a bank account in France, does the CY University have a partnership with any bank? And what are your recommendations for a specific bank in France?
Yes, we have two.
Which one is the best?
So we have 2 banks that we are have a partnership with, 2 banks, and they are we have some flyers on these banks that we have the partnership, and it would be easier to open a bank account in their bank, as we have the partnership with them. So we will give you the name of these banks and the contact.
Now a question about transport code and visa. Are there age limits to maybe obtain those papers? I think it's the question of Ibrahim. Is there an age limit to the transport code and the visa?
Concerning, I think the Visal, the guarantee Visal, I think it is 28, not more than 28. Concerning the transport card, as soon as you are a student, because when you apply for the
Yeah, I just checked the information.
It is concerning the Imaginaire.
Ouais.
We're checking it on, how do you say, on live. So concerning the Imaginaire, I think I didn't know. I thought that it was as you are a student, but.
Yeah,
not sure.
Yeah.
We're going to investigate and give the information, and ask Gladys to.
You need to be under 26.
26.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's an age limit for Imaginaire.
Okay. So another question from Sydney. Which was about the acceptance letter to apply for a visa. Just to confirm, is the acceptance letter the same with my offer?
What do you mean about the same with my offer? Really, I'm sorry, I don't understand. It means that you applied for something. You applied for how to say a course and or for diploma, and you have an acceptance letter to go to this university to do these courses, to do these courses. So the acceptance letter must be linked to your application. And when you ask for the visa, you will have a visa to go to this country and to go to this university, not in another country or in another university. So when you have an acceptance letter, you will have an interview and to explain where you're going, and you have an acceptance letter, and you will have the visa for the country you applied, and we will, perhaps you wanted to change the university, but the university in which you will have to go to change will not accept you, because you must go to the university in which you have been accepted. Am I clear? You're welcome.
And now a question from Yusra. Can we find the student's job and benefit from all the students' help with a short permit visa while waiting for the residence permit?
Well, to find a student job, you will, the youth center can provide you the information if you're looking for a student job, of course. If you are a student outside Europe, you will be able to work, but you are limited in a certain amount of hours in the year. And even just concerning the waiting visa, while waiting visa permit, yes, your short visa permit, as I said, when you arrive with your short visa permit, you have 2 months, 3 months to validate it in order to have a residence permit.
But it's not short, it's a long visa, it's for 1 year.
Yeah, yeah.
So you can't be a student in France with a short permit visa, because if you apply for a visa to study in France, you will have a long permit, a long visa for 1 year, and then if you stay in France, you need to renew it with the prefecture. So it's you can't have a short.
Because when you apply for a visa, you're applying for a visa as you are a student. So you will have, as you say, a student. It's not the same that someone who's coming to work, for example. So first of all, you're a student, so you're coming to study, but you can, of course, work, have a student job, but not for a long amount of hours. You have to take care about this.
Yeah, I can. Oh, okay. Okay.
Do you have any questions?
Yes, I'm watching already. So I'm also giving you the mail from Mrs. Joëlle Gury. But just know that you will receive everything from mail, of course, the content, the material, so there will be the link also, and the mails if you have further questions.
And we will give you all the information you need. Don't hesitate to send us an email. So we will put you in touch with the services and the persons that were in charge of your inquiries. So, and we'll be very pleased to welcome you if you're not already in France. So when you arrive, just one thing that is very important when you are accepted, be careful that you have to do all the necessary, all the necessary visa very early, because the more you do the administrative procedures early, and it will be very easier when you arrive to have your student card, open your bank account, and to have your accommodation. If you have enough time to do all this in order to begin your courses in Jolly time.
Yeah, the earlier the better.
Yes.
It's the key in France for all of the bureaucracy things.
Yes.
So yeah, don't be late.
Yeah. But Cergy is beautiful city,
Yeah,
and not very far from Paris, from Van Gogh House, and yes, it's welcome.
yeah, and feel free to contact us if you have questions after this webinar. We are here to answer your questions and inquiries.
Yes, in fact, you may not have questions right now, or we already answered all your questions. So if you have no other question, maybe we can end up the workshop. But firstly, by thanking you to be there with us and to have followed the workshop, to follow also the Utopia Student Careers Ambassador news and actuality. So now you also have the link tree from the Youth Center. And I'm wishing you a very good evening and all the best if you're coming in France, and particularly at Cergy, because we will be very pleased to welcome you.
Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you.